Welcome to Metroid Prime. As you can see, this is the trilogy version for the Wii. I will be starting with the first one, and unless something changes, I'll be going through them all. I'll just do this. Gray-headed dude, why not? Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite trilogies ever. Mass Effect being up there as well. I don't really have a first and second. I like them both for different reasons. I remember the first time I played the first Prime, I couldn't get my head around it. It was a long time ago. It was actually one of the first-person games I ever played. Now that I think about it, yeah, first person was foreign to me. It was all third-person platforming and stuff like that. It had all been just probably more interesting if I just let the video play. But yeah, I got Prime 2 when it came out. Well, Christmas after it came out. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I remember getting it for Christmas. And played that one all the way up to the final boss and could never beat it. 3 came out, I bought 3. The trilogy came out and I jumped all over it. Actually, this would be a good place for me to give a shout out to the person whose trilogy disc this actually is. I technically don't own this game. This copy belongs to a good friend of mine. His online name is the Vaxeris, and that's all I'll say for now because I haven't talked to him about mentioning him. But he played him, and he's got worse wrists than I do, so Wii controls bother him. And he knew how into Metroid I was, and he's like, I've got the collector's edition. Do you want to borrow it? I'm like, yeah. And so I borrowed it. It's like 6 years ago. Of course he's welcome to it anytime he wants it. But I mean, until then, I've got the fold-out displayed under glass on my desk, and so yeah, that's his disc. This is his disc. But yeah, I love this game. I love my favorite parts of these games are the music. Metroid is music I've always enjoyed, even before I played it. Up until I played it, it followed into the same category as Castlevania music. I've never really played a Castlevania game. I know, but I never have because I grew up on Mario. Growing up, it was all stuff bought for me, and it was usually Mario and stuff like that. You know, I'm a rural kid. Later, like I didn't even get into Zelda until like middle school. Me and a friend of mine had this stupid thing where I told him he couldn't get any Mario games, and he told me I couldn't get any Zelda games. But that was like 4th grade. We were idiots. We still are, but that's a moot point. Oh, geez, no. I have not swapped the A and B on this. There we go. Better. And oh, I'm so good at this whole video game thing. Okay. I'm just kind of gonna be breezing through this because of stuff like that. So this is definitely not a completion playthrough. If they're in my way, I might grab all the E-tank. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a Let's Player there. I sound exactly like. Just realized that right there, I sounded exactly. It wanted. I sounded exactly like JonTron's impression of a Let's Player in the early Link to the Past episodes. Yeah, like I mentioned in my SCP videos, I take a lot of my inspiration for doing these things comes from Steve. I knew Steve. I've been watching Steve. My friend was just randomly started watching him while he was over at my house one day, and I'm like, that guy sounds cool. I want to say it was I think it was one of his Cry of Fear videos. I didn't pick him up then, and then a little later, me and him started playing Dark Souls, and by that I mean he was doing like all the research, he's like go there, but I was doing the actual play of it because he didn't own it yet. So so I was over at his house, and like at the time I was better than him at the game. So would you? I'm sorry about that. Um, I suppose that warrants a little bit of explanation. My dad just walked into my room. My mom's going on a trip soon. And, so she's got her suitcases laid out and stuff. And Daddy went and put a pressure cooker in the suitcase for her to find later, and he thought he needed to bring that to me so I could see it. It's good. Anyway, yeah. At the time, I was a little bit better at the game than he was. So I was doing all the playing, and he was figuring it out for me. And he pulled up Steve's Dark Souls thing. Actually, come to think of it, that was really recently. Now that I think about it, I'd watched Steve before, but I'd gotten out of it, and that got me back into him. I started. I'd spent like 2 weeks marathoning Steve. I watched Alan Wake was one of the first ones I watched because that's a great game and it's something that I played. So I watched him do Alan Wake. As a matter of fact, after watching him do Alan Wake, I went back and finished my Nightmare playthrough. I think it's Nightmare is the hardest difficulty. I watched that. I watched Fatal Frame. Excuse me. I watched Afraid of Monsters, Alone in the Dark. I love watching Steve. He interests me, I guess is a good word. He's fun to watch. But yeah, enough talking about Steve on my Metroid Prime playthrough. I actually only finally beat this game very recently. When I first picked back up the trilogy version, I couldn't finish it. I got all the way up to where you get the Phazon suit, and I couldn't find the right path to the Phazon suit. I kept trying to take what I found out later was the way out after you get the suit. I kept wanting to take that way. And obviously that wasn't working. And I gave up on it and I picked up 2. And I just played through 2 and then I played through 3 again. And I put it down for a little while. And finally came back to it just a little over a year ago. Screw it. A little over a year ago. And I beat it. I think I found all the E-tanks. I think I managed to find all the E-tanks. Something feels off. I can't put my finger on it. I guess it's because I'm not really concentrating on the game. Nope. Next episode.